Hello. Once again I come before you as a representative of the Illuminati. You may call me the Man. And yes, let's just go ahead and get out of the way. Where you been, the Man? The world's spinning out of control, the Man. Where you been, the Man? You want to know where I've been? I'll tell you where I've been. I have been gone for 20 years. Not your time, of course. Not your time. It's all relative. 20 years of my life. 20 years. I mean, look. You can see a little more white, right? A little more. I look a lot closer to... I can't even finish that sentence. That's not true at all. I still look a lot younger than I really am. But still, 20 years. I was, as part of my duties as the Man, I was called to the outer dimensions by Queen Elizabeth, as I'm sure you'll remember, for those who've watched the channel for a long time, did not die. She just went home. So while she was there to announce the birth of her new grandchild in that dimension, she reached out to several potentates and, of course, powerful people. I'm not going to brag about that, but I am one of those people. It's my duty to represent basically the entirety of the planet to the reptilians, the hybrid reptilians of the outer dimensions. Anyway, I went to, go congratulate her on the birth of yet another grandchild. Most of those grandchildren, they don't make it here. A lot of them do, but they don't all make it here. They rule the outer dimensions. There's a lot of area out there. Anyway, while we were there, she decided, hey, it's a good idea if we go see what's happening on the outer dimensions. Hey, remember the way things work? We're in the green zone, kind of like, the Roy G. Biv rainbow kind of thing. We're in the green zone, and then the red zone and the violet zone are like further out and sometimes a little insubstantial. Well, time flows a little bit differently there too. So we went out there and I was gone for 20 years. I got to know the royal family a lot more than I anticipated. Here it was only a few months, 8 months or something like that. But there, it was a long time, and I adapted to a lot of behavior and activities that you need to in order to survive in the outer dimensions. You can't just pop out there and go grab a snack at McDonald's. There's things to eat, but they take a lot of prep, and after a while you just eat them. You just do it, and gravity's different. I actually had to learn how to walk after I've been back for a few weeks, and wow, what a few weeks when I stepped back in to see what had happened while I was gone. A lot has changed in the few months that I've been gone, but yeah, I had to learn how to walk again. I'm still a little bloated and squishy from what I had to do there to survive, and the fact that their gravity is a lot lower than ours, so metabolisms are, it's a whole thing. You're not here to talk about that. It's I thought the best thing to do is just to get into the swing of things. So here I am again to let you know what's going on. And this week's topic is disclosure 2026. Now, I know we've had this discussion before. There's a whole other video on disclosure, and the end result has not changed. Okay? It just hasn't. The alien races that exist, that we've talked about many times, including the Anunnaki, whose audit we survived back in 2012. Those were good times, right? We managed to keep living. Anyway, they don't want your average person on Earth knowing that they exist. They just don't want it. So they are not going to actually back a full disclosure. You're going to see the same stuff. Even though this administration has promised full transparency or whatever, all you're going to see is like balloons and things that seem like they shouldn't be moving that fast, but they are, and things that are close to a camera and further away, perspective issues make it look like they're zooming by light speed. You're going to see a lot of that, okay? There's going to be a whole lot of that. And there's a whole lot of like natural phenomena you may not be aware of as well. What you're not going to see is proof positive that we have been visited by or are actively dealing with aliens on this planet. You're just not going to do it, all right? We came through this whole thing with the real docs. We lost Donald Trump to it. Turns out he was pretty much lost the entire time. Boy, the guy could keep some secrets. You would think a fellow who talked that much, he would let certain things slip, but yeah, he was actually quite secretive. So, and we can't force a disclosure. As you know, the Illuminati is not about overt power, it's about covert power. It's about subtle influences to keep our society progressing forward to the point where we get to take our place amongst the stars, which is our destiny. That's the way we look at it. So yeah, we don't do the overt power thing, because when you do overt power, you get in there, you're like, do this or do that. And sometimes we've been tempted, we've all been tempted, if we had power to say, do this or do that, but you get pushback. That's it. And the kind of people who are attracted to power, who want to win elections and things like that, they tend to be people who don't want to be told what to do. They want to tell other people what to do. So therefore, the pushback can get quite substantial. So when you do that, you lose your influence. Now, it's much better to subtly whisper in the dark, in the small places, in the places where people are sitting and think and they contemplate, like movie theaters and things like that, where you sit down and you're like, what does this thing really mean? We have a lot of messaging going out. You saw the Superman movie, right, from last year? That happened before I left. Yeah, things like that, hope and peaceful relations, and you can do it, and all this kind of stuff. We do a lot of that, and we do sometimes overtly use our powers. Sometimes we do make things a little difficult for some people, but we don't do it out in the open. In fact, you guys, you're about the only people who know what we actually do besides us, and there's just a few of us left in the office now. The really big computer changed everything. We didn't really need that many people anymore. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what we do. And I know it's not a satisfying answer. I know, I've been gone for 20 years. I come back with this, oh, you're going to see, I don't know, balloons and stuff, right? You're going to see a bunch of stuff. I know, it's not very satisfying. You know what? Okay. Don't tell anybody, all right? Just us, right? Just a handful of people who watch this channel. Don't share this, whatever you do. We're going to give you one. I have pool, obviously. We're going to give you one. We're going to give you a real UFO that we have captured the many times that they've been captured. A real one. And we're going to blend it in to all the release from the Department of War, which doesn't exist, by the way. We'll get into the whole Trump thing later. I've seen your messages. Hey, explain why he's back. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get into it. But right now, let's talk UFOs. One of those in the coming releases will be true. Huh? That's my gift to you. You've been very patient. And it's up to you to guess which one. That's the best part of it. So it's kind of like a game, right? You're interacting with me, I'm interacting with you, and we'll get there together, okay? But no, disclosure is not coming, not in the way that you want. Not yet. Not until, as they put it, we grow up. Anyway, we're working on it, We in the Illuminati, we're trying to encourage us all to remember that we're all in this together. We're trying to make the world a more kind and gentle place in which to live. And, to that end, we would suggest that when you walk outside your house or your tent or your homeless encampment, wherever you happen to be right now, and you look up there in the sky and you see those chemtrails blazing up there, why, we in the Illuminati would suggest that you just relax and breathe deeply.